Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. We got him.
FBI Director Kash Patel announced Robinson's arrest around 10 p.m. on 9/11. Utah Governor Spencer Cox later explained that Robinson's family played a key role in turning him in. A relative reportedly confided to a family friend that Robinson had either confessed or implied his involvement, leading to his surrender. On the evening of September 11th, a family member of Tyler Robinson reached out to a family friend, who then contacted the Washington County Sheriff's Office with information that Robinson had confessed to or implied involvement in the incident. This information was relayed to the Utah County Sheriff's Office and investigators at Utah Valley University. As well as conveyed to the FBI, investigators reviewed additional video footage from UVU surveillance and identified Robinson arriving on campus in a gray Dodge Challenger at approximately 8:29 a.m. on September 10th. He was seen wearing a plain maroon t-shirt, light-colored shorts, a black hat with a white logo, and light-colored shoes. When encountered in person by investigators in Washington County on September 12th in the early morning hours, Robinson was observed in clothing consistent with the surveillance images. Investigators interviewed a family member who stated Robinson had become increasingly political in recent years. The family member referenced a recent dinner prior to September 10th, during which Robinson mentioned that Charlie Kirk was coming to UVU. They discussed why they didn't like him or his viewpoints. The family member described Kirk as full of hate and spreading hate, and also confirmed Robinson owned a gray Dodge Challenger. Investigators also interviewed Robinson's roommate, who revealed that Robinson had made a joke on Discord. The roommate showed investigators messages from a contact saved as Tyler, which included references to retrieving a rifle from a drop point, leaving it in a bush, watching the area where it was hidden, wrapping it in a towel, and mentions of engraving bullets, a scope, and changing outfits. Investigators photographed the messages directly from the device. The area north of Campus Drive Road, where the suspect was seen crossing in released video, consists of a grassy area with trees along the edge of UVU's campus. Investigators discovered a bolt-action rifle wrapped in a dark-colored towel. The weapon was identified as a Mauser Model 98.30-06 caliber with a mounted scope. Casing found with the rifle bore inscriptions. Charlie Kirk was shot at 12:23 p.m. on Wednesday. The first FBI agents arrived on scene within 16 minutes. By 12:39 p.m., chiefs of police had secured the area. The FBI immediately deployed assets, transported personnel and specialists, and moved forensic evidence between Utah and our labs. By 10 a.m. on September 11th, the FBI released the first suspect photos. That evening, the police released new video footage of the suspect. At 10 p.m. local time, less than 36 hours later, the suspect was taken into custody. This demonstrates what happens when the full weight of the federal government works hand in hand with state and local authorities.
Getting somebody that you start off with absolutely nothing. And we started off with a clip that made him look like an ant that was almost useless. We just saw there was somebody up there. And so much work has been done over the last 2.5 days.
So, who is Tyler Robinson? Tyler Robinson, a 22-year-old of Utah, was taken into custody on the morning of September 12. He is accused of fatally shooting conservative commentator Charlie Kirk, who died after being struck in the neck during a public appearance at Utah Valley University, UVU, in Orem on September 10. That morning, Washington City Police restricted access around the Robinson family home, keeping reporters and neighbors across the street as patrol cars occasionally passed through the quiet subdivision. He has no criminal history on record. He graduated from Pineview High School in 2021 and briefly attended Utah State University in 2021 on an academic scholarship. Neighbors said he had been living at home with his parents. According to voter rolls, Robinson is registered to vote in Utah but has no party affiliation. Social media posts from his mother, Amber Robinson, depict a close family. Tyler, the eldest of 3 sons, appears in photos of family trips to the Grand Canyon, fishing outings, and holidays. In 2020, Amber posted his ACT test score of 34 out of 36, placing him in the top 1% nationally. A Halloween photo from 2017 shows him wearing a Trump-themed costume. His family and a friend helped deliver him into the custody of law enforcement in Washington County. Cox said, praising them for doing the right thing. Authorities linked Robinson to the crime through online messages, family interviews, and surveillance footage. President Donald Trump announced the capture on Fox and Friends the following morning, noting that a minister had also been involved in identifying the suspect. Former ATF Deputy Director Tom Chittum said the weapon fit the profile of the shooting. 30-06 is a common hunting caliber. This was a longer shot, which suggests preparation and practice. But you don't need to be a police or military sniper to make that shot, he explained. Kristen Schwierman, who has lived 2 doors down from the Robinsons for 16 years, described the suspect as quiet, intelligent, and musically inclined. She said his family was loving and active in the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints. I think social media played a role. There's just too much hate out there, she said. I know he wasn't taught those things.
A little bit of the timeline. Charlie was shot at 12:23 p.m. on Wednesday. The first FBI agents arrived on scene in 16 minutes with chiefs of police at 12:39 and secured the scene. The FBI immediately launched fixed-wing assets. We utilized these assets to transport personnel, specialty technicians, hostage rescue teams. We also utilized these assets to go back and forth from the East Coast and here in Utah to transport forensic evidence and other evidence that will be analyzed and is being analyzed at our FBI laboratories in Quantico and other laboratories, including the ATF. At my direction, the FBI released the first set of FBI photos of the suspect at 10 a.m. local time on 9/11. Then, shortly thereafter, the FBI reward of $100,000 was released at 10:45 a.m. local. Myself and Deputy Director Bongino arrived on the scene at approximately 5:30 p.m. on 9/11. The governor led a press conference last night at approximately 8 p.m., where at my direction, the FBI released a never-before-seen video of the suspect. We also released new images to the public of the suspect. And just last night, the suspect was taken into custody at 10 p.m. local time. In less than 36 hours, 33 to be precise, thanks to the full weight of the federal government and leading out with the partners here in the state of Utah and Governor Cox, the suspect was apprehended in a historic time period. And I want to highlight what Governor Cox said. This would not have been possible without you, the media, and you, the public. That's why we went so public, so fast, and we're so transparent, and we're committed to that transparency. The crime scene, just a little bit there. It is a large crime scene. State and local authorities, along with federal authorities, processed that crime scene quickly. And I even had the ability to walk through that crime scene and walk through the steps the suspect took to learn more about what was needed and what resources we needed to bear to create a full picture for the FBI and leadership back in Washington. Furthermore, thankfully to state and local partners, forensic evidence has been seized and continues to be garnered. Forensic evidence has already been evaluated at FBI laboratories in Quantico and state and local authorities here. We will continue to process evidence as we see it, as we collect it, and we will continue to deliver it to Governor Cox and his team. Last night, we had a total of approximately 7,000 leads. As of this morning, thanks to your great work, we have over 11,000 leads that were called in to the FBI. And we are running out every single lead that we can. Every one of those leads will be run out. The arrest is a testament to the dedication of good law enforcement being great and partnerships in law enforcement, which I've tried to highlight as my tenure as the director of the FBI. There is no better relationship for law enforcement than the FBI to partner with state and local authorities, and you've seen it here in these last few days. The FBI Salt Lake Field Office, along with our offices in LA, Phoenix, Denver, San Antonio, Las Vegas, Pittsburgh, Buffalo, our headquarters component in Quantico, all participate in the FBI. I want to express my deep gratitude to the employees of the FBI, the men and women, the evidence response team tacticians, the special operators, the agents, the support staff. You have done monumental work in historic time when the public, who had a right to demand such an expeditious solving of an investigation, the FBI answered that call diligently, critically important to our nation. and we delivered. And I'm proud to be their leader, and I'm proud to be the director of the FBI. This is a very much an ongoing investigation, as the governor said, and we will continue to work with state and local authorities to develop the investigation, to provide them the evidence they need for their ongoing prosecutions, and we will be here to answer every call they absolutely have, as long as it takes, for as long as we need to find and apprehend whatever suspects were involved in this crime.